The following program contains disturbing materials that may not be suitable for some resellers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, guys, we got to talk. And this is solely my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. And for some of you, my opinion is not worth a whole lot. And for some, it is. But I'm just going to break it down to you as I see it. Now, this whole thing that eBay is doing to change shipping or to opt everyone in to the discounted shipping rates if you offer calculated shipping. Now, if you don't offer calculated shipping, this is just a lot of hubbub and doesn't mean a whole lot to you at all. If you're doing flat rate or free shipping, then just it's something that you should know and keep in mind. But at the end of the day, you're going to have the power to control this anyway. eBay is simply going in, and for those who use calculated shipping and are charging the customers the full retail rate, which can be quite high, well, they are going in on your behalf and they are going to set it up to where you are now offering the buyer the discounted rates that you get that eBay passes on to you. So if eBay is charging the buyer $10 for the label, you're paying $10 for the label, provided that your measurements and weight of the package don't change. And a lot of people will tell you that's a bad thing. Well, I'm here to tell you the opposite. I'm here to tell you that is a good thing for most resellers, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Now, I know the arguments against it. Some will say, well, I've seen that the rates have changed. They might charge $10 to the buyer, and I might have to pay a little bit more. Guys, I've never seen that unless I actually went in and changed the dimensions or the weight of the package. So sometimes you will have a 10-pound box, and after repackaging everything, you get out here and it's 11 pounds. It happens, guys. It happens. And sometimes you have to spend an extra few bucks when that happens. But what I would say and what I do is I charge a dollar or two, depending on the size of the package. But even if you guys did $2 or $3 as handling, and you can build that into your shipping policy, well, that works. And in most cases, a pound's not going to take you much higher than a dollar or two anyway in your price. And a dimension sometimes can, if you're teetering between 49 and 50 inches long, like maybe a long golf club box, or some of the boxes that you guys see behind me over my head. Well, if I get those wrong, well, it could cost me a few bucks, because it seems like FedEx, who I use, seems to like the boxes that are under 50 inches. But you know what? It is what it is. And before I go into this topic any further, I just wanted to talk to you guys about what I do. Okay? What I do is going to be different than what you do. What I do is going to be different than some of these guys that have made videos on this topic. We all have unique situations. We're not the same reseller. There's not one reseller with the same exact circumstances and situation. You might have very similar people who sell similar things, but no two sellers are alike, as far as I've seen, and I'd like someone to prove me wrong, but I'm going to always say that we all have different situations. So what I'm telling you right now may not fit your model at all, and that is fine. It doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother these other people who I'm saying are wrong. And in my opinion, they're wrong for most resellers. For some resellers, you just keep doing what you're doing. If that's how you make money on the item, is through the shipping, and that's worked for you, and it doesn't hurt your sales, then that's a business model that you've created for yourself that won't work for me and a lot of resellers like me if I did full retail and pass that full retail price on calculated shipping on to my buyer. But I just wanted to, of course, I think sometimes you get people in front of this camera and they provide next to no credibility. They might show you this cute little stuffed animal that's sold, or a few things. We all make sales on eBay, right? But to various levels. But and this is in no way a brag, but sometimes I feel like I have to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what I do as to sort of earn credibility, and I'd like to think that after over going on 4.5 years, not quite, but 4 years, 4 months of doing YouTube videos consistently, well, I'd like to think I'd have your trust, and a lot of you guys would think that I have an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, I don't have all the answers. I think that's the misconception. People think that I think I know it all, and I don't. But I know what I know, and this is one of those things that I know, okay? Now, before I get on to the topic at hand, though, I wanted to show you just kind of what I'm doing, who you're talking to, who you're listening to right now. Because I'm not one of these fly-by-night sellers that, are just making a video to help offset my lack of sales on eBay. In fact, my sales on eBay is kind of really what's kept me away from making a lot more videos than I want. But my thought is focus on the money that you're making, and the money that I'm making is through eBay, and it's probably going to be that for the rest of the time I decide to sell on eBay. So I got to tell you, I'm making, so far this year, my total sales from the first of the year through the 23rd of April is showing at $36,997, as you can see here. Now, the net sales, $24,000. It's probably lower than that because of the fact that I have some FedEx labels that I have to calculate in there, and I have to calculate some cost of goods in there. I'm 10.3% up in gross sales than I was last year. My Januaries were comparable, just really two bad Januaries. Maybe a little bit better this year than last year, but the fact that last year I felt like I was really doing well, and I'm up 10.3%. It's 10.3%, as you can see here, up is huge for me. Now, I'm not a $5, $10 seller. I'm not saying that that's something that you shouldn't do. I'm not knocking it. I don't knock sellers who sell $5 to $10 items, okay? I am very adamant because I've been there. I've been the $5, $10, $15 seller with shipping added in. And guys, I got to tell you, it's a very, very hard path to succeed on eBay. And so I have brought my average sales price, my ASP, up to $63.24. That's up 8.2%. So it's probably somewhere in the high 50s last year. And that's what I'm striving for. Have that arrow up, okay? So this is the seller you're dealing with. Someone who uses calculated shipping on almost every item I sell. Those other sellers who are talking about this and chiming in on this issue, I don't know. Check their stores. That's my first advice. Check my store, Value Trends, VALUETRENDZ. One thing that's going to stick out, I made $36,000 in gross sales this year, and I have only 200 items in my store. And at no point have I ever had more than 300. Well, early in January I had both stores combined. My secondary store is about 150 now. So for me, my business model is keeping it lean and keeping it efficient and keeping the churn. And I don't normally do this, but at the end of this discussion, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you, because I don't want to waste your time. You're tuning in on this video because you want to hear about the policy change and not hear about my stuff and what I'm doing. But hopefully, I'm going to go at the end of this video and show you some of the sales that I recently made and kind of talk about that. And I'm not trying to make this a super long video, but I just think it's kind of important just to kind of show the audience, who I am and what I do. But enough about me. Hopefully you guys understand I'm not a fly-by eBay reseller. I think I have a firm idea of what I do and my game plan, and I really feel strongly about this issue of what eBay is doing. Now, okay, eBay has been kind of a bad guy lately, of course, because they're doing all kinds of things behind the scenes. We are continually being eBay's beta testers, and just last Friday was on Bearded Pickers Live, and I lost all my drafts, and a couple other people in the chat on that live lost their drafts at the same time, only to get them back about a half an hour later. But it was alarming knowing what eBay does and has done on their platform. And there's various things that we know that buyers are dealing with lately on the platform. So eBay isn't getting a whole lot of credibility here. When eBay does things, people kind of turn an eye and wonder, what is eBay up to now? And I think that's kind of the initial reaction when it comes to this change of opting everyone in on calculated shipping, so you're giving your buyer the discounted rate and not the full-blown retail rate. Why is eBay doing that? What is the reason why they're doing that? Well, here's the thing. eBay wants you to make sales. eBay is in the business to make sales. eBay does not want your buyers to fire up your listing and go, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for, and then they're about to buy it and they look down and go, why is this shipping so much? Why is it $20 for shipping? It should only be $12. But here we are, we have too high a shipping, and guess what? A price sensitive buyer is going to click off and maybe go somewhere else and quite possibly find it on another platform. And so eBay has all these metrics. They know how many times someone clicks into your listing, and they know how often someone clicks out of your listing, okay? And they know how many people have clicked out of a listing that offers full-blown retail rates and not discounted shipping rates. So again, if you're offering flat rate, free shipping, this discussion really doesn't pertain to you much, but it's good for you to know it. So I could tell you that there's been many times that I have lost sales. People have reached out to me and asked me why my shipping was so high, and I'm offering discounted rates sometimes. Well, all the time, but these people are complaining about discounted rates. I can just imagine what people are saying for very similar items when there's no discounted rates involved. And I'm sure that if you're not offering discounted rates, you have to have had the email come across to you saying, look, I'm interested in your item, but I'm not paying $40 to have this thing shipped to me. So that's eBay's dilemma. They see a lot of lost potential sales and clickouts clicking off of the listing due to this. Also, one thing a lot of people don't realize is that your search rank and the amount you charge for shipping have a lot to do with each other. If you are having struggles making sales and you're charging full retail on your calculated rates to the buyer, that could have a huge part of it and to do with it. And I know this from experience, talking to other resellers who've made the change. It's a matter of search rank. eBay is not interested in promoting an item or giving you high placement in search rank if your item is priced too high. And eBay doesn't look at just the price of the item as determining what the price of the item is. They look at the price of the item plus shipping. That's why when a buyer does a best match search in eBay and then they refine the search with lowest plus shipping, it's lowest price plus shipping. Guys, I'm telling you, if you want to churn your items, I'm in the business of selling things. I'm in the business of churning my items out. And if you are trying to make up for bad buys, and I'll just say it, I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, but the truth is, you got to buy better. It boils down to that. When you buy better, it allows you to do so much more, and it allows you to give your buyer the same rate that eBay is going to charge you. Yeah, add $1, $2, or $3, or $4 to that through your handling fee, through your business policy, and that way your supplies are paid for. The eBay final value fees that they charge you on the shipping that the buyer pays is covered, and then as long as your items are accurately weighed and measured when you list it, you're not going to have any surprises. And I do shipping every day. I ship anywhere between 5 and 15 items a day. That doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I'm talking about large items that are impacted that utilize this calculated shipping policy. And I don't see huge swings at all. I don't see any changes unless something happens to where I have to make an edit in the shipping rates or dimensions. So that's it, guys. I want to know what you think down below. And I'm not being a jerk by saying I kind of continue to come back to this, but this is the genesis of how you succeed at eBay. If you buy something at a low price, you have a lot of, let's say you can sell that for a high price. I'm not worried about making money off of shipping. In fact, it won't bother me if I eat $1 or $2 on the shipping once in a while. And that just works. And I'm making good money. And at the end of the day, we talk about metrics, we talk about promoted listing rates, we talk about, in this case, calculated shipping, but it all boils down to how much you're making. And if you're focused on all these other things that aren't important, like, in my opinion, if I'm going to be able to make $5 off of my shipping on a buyer versus giving the buyer a fair shipping price so that they're attracted to buy your item, chances are you're going to sell more items. And yeah, you're going to lose a few bucks from your overly charged shipping policy, but you're going to churn more items. You're going to get through more inventory. And my 200 item store, I have 460 some odd items sold in the last 90 days. That's a hell of a sell-through rate, and I'm only trying to improve. I've seen many, many stores that have thousands of items that haven't sold that many. And I'm not saying I'm the best seller on eBay, but I'm trying to give you guys an idea of how you succeed on eBay. It's not getting worried about what you're paying in promoted fees. It's not getting worried about what dollar or two you're no longer making off the buyer with shipping. It's about how do you buy low and sell high. And the more practice you put into that, and the harder you work at getting better stuff to sell, well, you're going to succeed with that. Now, I'm going to show you some things here. Here's what I sold tonight. And this is not a whole lot. This is just what I sold tonight. I sold some other things earlier today that's already been shipped out. And I'm showing this to you because really, I'm never going to find this stuff again. I sell so many different things that for me, it doesn't matter in this case if I share this with you because I'm never going to get it again. So I have this flooring that this 12-piece flooring that I sold for $75 plus shipping. And I think it came out like $107 after shipping. The shipping was like $32. It's a fairly heavy box. It's 12 pieces that they're connected 4x4. So they're basically there's 3 pieces. No, I'm sorry, 48 pieces that are connected 4 by, in this case, 4x12. And it's a very heavy box. And I think I paid, according to this, it's $10.35 is my cost on it. Now, my original asking price was $109.99. Okay, and that's within kind of what the market has shown it's sold for in the last 90 days. And I got an offer tonight for $75. So I'm looking at, before fees and everything, I'm looking at about a 6 to 7x flip. I'll take it. Okay, it's been sitting around for a few weeks. Listed it a few weeks ago. I'm happy to move from it. Probably never see it again. Got some of these Nigen Pro. I don't even know what the heck this stuff is. I picked it up for $13.80. Just listed this stuff last night, and I think it's like 60 or 70 bucks is the market. I took an offer for 50 bucks. I didn't even haggle. I figured it's going to be such a low amount. It's like $6.62 calculated ground advantage shipping, and I'm happy for that sale. Again, that's like an 8x flip. No, I apologize. That's more like a 4x flip. But that's still not bad. The item I sold earlier is a water tape dispenser, and I'm into that for $4.60, guys. I sold it for $60. I took an offer of I think I had it for $79.99. Took an offer for $60. So that is a 10 plus X flip. And in all cases, okay, I'm giving discounted shipping rates. I'm giving my buyer discounted shipping rates. And that's pretty big. Now, before I go, because I know that some of you guys may want to know how you opt in or opt out. Well, eBay is going to be opting you in to this calculated shipping discount policy, but you are not stuck there. If you want to go back and charge buyers a higher retail rate and make money off shipping and potentially lose buyers, turning buyers away from your listings because you're just charging too much in shipping, well, here's how you do it. You go to your, this is on the PC, you click on your name on the upper left-hand corner, it's a drop-down, you go to Shipping Preferences, and once you get to Shipping Preferences, it's near the bottom where it says, they're highlighted, Shipping Discount Settings, eBay Discounted Rates, Specified, and then you click on Edit. When you click on Edit, you'll get Shipping Discount Settings, and you see there that you can offer the buyer discounted rates on USPS, FedEx, and UPS labels. If you want out of that, you unclick there and then you go save. Okay? But it's up to you. Again, we're all in this together for one reason. That is not to, outsmart each other. That's not to get views on YouTube. It is to figure out how to make the most money for our own specific situation. And if your situation requires you to sell a $5 item for $9.99, okay, that's before fees, and you're making $3 or $4 off the shipping, and that's the way you've chosen to run your business, then by all means, I hope you the best. And I don't have that perspective anymore. I've seen it, I've lived it, and I've struggled with it. And that was my eBay life for quite a while. And I have chosen to take a different path, and I've found a way to take a different path. And I've worked hard to make sure I'm on that same path and I'm not on a different path. And we all have our own path. So I'm not disparaging you one bit at all. So before you go remarking down there that I'm some jerk for saying, hey, low ASP sellers are just horrible, I'm not saying that. I wish you the best. I do. But I want you to really consider this information. I also want you to consider who you're watching and who you're getting information from. How much are they making? How many items do they have to sell? Now, I'm not saying that 10, 20, 30, 40,000 item seller is a bad person or a bad business model. I'm not suggesting that either. I'm just saying how closely does that YouTuber fit to your own business model, and are you able to apply what they're telling you, and is it going to work for what you're doing? Because there's some things that I do that's not going to work for some sellers that are watching right now. And there's some really well-intentioned YouTubers that have good stuff that's working great for them that would in no way work for me. Should you be using the calculated discounted rates or the full retail rates? Well, only you can figure that out. And that's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you to check out one of these videos here before we go. And consider subscribing and hitting that like button, guys. I'd certainly appreciate that. And we will talk to you guys very soon. Take care, everyone.